Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Dewi and this is my brother.
Oh,
And today we're here to talk about the recent show that's just come out and ended yesterday at the time of this recording from Halloween, Agatha All Along.
yeah, so today we'll be giving our full review of the show, obviously. If you haven't seen the show yet, especially episode 8 and 9, then we would suggest clicking off the video now. 3, 2, 1, ducks.
That's got absolutely nothing to do with this, by the way. But,
Yeah.
So, overall, in terms of the show, I thought it was...
I really enjoyed it. If I'm going to be honest, I went into the show not really thinking much of it. I just thought, okay, I don't think there's going to be any real point to this show. And, was I wrong?
Yeah, I think it definitely has opened up a lot as well, especially the ending, and, the whole, journey from beginning to end, I thought was, well paced as well.
Yeah, I think
each episode was based on a trial, except obviously beginning and end, because that's just, the beginning and end of the trial.
Yeah.
But then you have that subtle twist at the end, and you find out this whole experience that they've been on
was made by Wiccan.
Exactly.
Which was like a hex.
Yes.
Like WandaVision.
So, the characters we see in here, who would you say is, the more, interesting character to you?
Oh, I'd say Lillian's actually a pretty interesting one.
Lillian.
Because obviously she experiences her life all out of place and stuff. I also think Agatha's quite interesting with Nicholas Scratch.
Yes, I think because you don't know about that background, obviously, in Westview and WandaVision, because obviously it's focused on Wanda, but in this it's, her sort of backstory.
Yeah. So, and I also quite liked Wiccan as well. So I'd say those three are probably the most interesting.
Yeah.
Wiccan's definitely got the most potential, though.
Well, yeah, I think they've set him up, to be part of
a young Avenger.
Yeah, well, that's a young Avengers, with all, the others, you've got, Kate Bishop and stuff like that. Yeah. So, in terms of characters, that was really good. Witch's Road, finding out that, it wasn't actually a Witch's Road, there never was one.
Yeah, I felt bad for Alice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because she literally just broke the curse and then she immediately got killed off.
I thought something else was going to happen to her towards maybe the end of the show. I
thought so as well.
To be honest, at one point I thought to myself, they're all dying now, but they're all going to come back later on.
But it turns out the people
that was literally her
died
end
stayed
of,
dead.
Yeah, literally the end of her story.
So,
but then again, Agatha died and she's come back as a ghost. So
yeah, because they clarify in this that ghosts only don't go to the afterlife if they have some business still to be done in this world. So maybe what's Agatha's business then that made her to stay into a ghost? Is it to help? So
that's not really explained. Tommy? Yeah, that's what some of it could be. But a lot of this, I think I did say to you, was this kind of reminds me of the Midnight Suns game.
Yes.
In that, you had Agatha as a ghost as well, but she was sort of, as you said, the Nick Fury of the supernatural teams, the heroes and stuff like that.
As far as I'm concerned, I feel like this show, when it comes to Agatha, kind of served with turning her from a villain into more how she is, being this kind of mentor figure to all the new people that are coming in for the supernatural side.
Yes.
So she would serve as the Nick Fury of the supernatural.
Because she knows all about the supernatural. She knows how to deal with those kind of forces, the magics people can use, so she has the knowledge and she can be there to teach.
I mean, she had the Darkhold, which that's actually another thing. Since we know she didn't get the Darkhold from the Witch's Road, she didn't trade Nicholas for it, then how did she get the Darkhold? Because we know she got it before she had Nicholas.
Yes.
So
at some point, maybe that's something to be explained in the future.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, everything that you had with that, you had the little snippets of Wanda, obviously, because of her son, Billy, who is Wiccan.
Yes. And that was actually the episode where we saw his backstory. I really liked that one.
Yeah, because there was a whole episode dedicated to his origin. Everyone has their own origin in this, to all the witches and stuff. But obviously Billy and Agatha definitely have theirs. Billy got halfway through, and Agatha at the very end of the season.
I feel those two are the standout actors and performances in this.
Yeah.
Though again, people like Lilia were actually really good as well.
Oh yeah, they did very good job in all their roles.
Yeah.
And you also had Lady Death.
Yes, that is a very interesting one, because I know there were theories that maybe she'd bring back Thanos at the end of this.
Yeah, that would be it, because of the cartoons.
Yeah,
the
where
old
Thanos was
the
like...
90s, that was it. Yeah, it was at the very end, that Silver Surfer one, we never got the ending
Yeah, which really sucked, but that's a completely different conversation.
We did have a name drop on Mephisto for the first time, which is, pretty big. Well,
I did feel like Mephisto would have a bigger role, though,
I
beyond
know.
just a mention.
I did like, another thing as well, it was in one of the episodes, one of the first trials they did, was the costume of the demon.
Oh, yeah.
Like the winged demon with the claws and stuff.
Yeah, like the curse thing.
Which you told me actually a lot of this was actual practical make
yeah,
as well.
Pretty much all of it was practical. That's why it's apparently the cheapest
I
show
prefer
Marvel's
the
made.
practical though as opposed to CGI
yeah.
though.
And apparently that will be carried over with things like Daredevil Born Again and stuff.
Well, that's good to hear then, because I do like the practical use of things as opposed to like just CGI all the time.
Yeah, I mean the whole Witch's Road was made in just one massive warehouse. So that's
interesting.
So, no, obviously, I feel like this show is a setup for a Wonder film.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be... Because it said that Agatha All Along is a part of, like, a three-parter. The first part being WandaVision, second Agatha, third Vision Quest, which is assumingly where they'll go to try and find Tommy.
Yeah.
And apparently this all builds up to the Wanda film.
Plus you've got Jen as well, and she at the very end
had her magic back.
Yeah, she had her magic, just flew off into the distance,
like become a part of the Midnight Suns, because apparently she's a part of them in the comics.
Well, you think about like the Midnight Suns, like Ghost Rider, for instance, like that, and Blade and all that.
And especially since apparently a Midnight Suns film is now in full swing, which is kind of funny considering the Blade movie might be cancelled now. So we're getting Blade in a Midnight Suns movie before his own movie.
Yeah, which is like you're supposed to. They should have done what they did with like the Marvels and stuff. Oh my god, I'm getting carried away now. But essentially, they should have done what they did at the very beginning with Avengers. Yeah. They set up each character, give them a good story each one, and then you bring.
Yeah, I mean, apparently Blade's going to be in the new season of What If? Oh wait, no, not What If. Sorry. Marvel Zombies next year.
Oh, right, yeah, I did, because it was on that trailer recently that came out.
Anyway, so I actually really liked all the costume designs as well for the characters. Yeah,
they all had good change. And the thing is, every trial that they went into, they always had a different costume, didn't they? To suit the theme. It was like this sleepover one, sort of pajama one. They had like the 70s or no 80s, something like that.
Like the 80s,
look
90s
hairs
thing.
And all that type of stuff. Yeah.
And it was really cool to see like Wiccan's costume and Lady Death's and Agatha's at the end.
Yeah.
But
Agatha going. To be fair, that actually is how you would picture Agatha. It's like the long, purpley, dark robes.
Yeah,
and stuff like
and
that.
then she even went like even more comic accurate with like the grey hair when she was a ghost.
What do you think is Agatha in terms of like her character then? Because obviously you meant to sort of hate her in WandaVision, but in this now, do you sort of change the opinion on how you see her now that you've seen like her origin, her flashback with her son Nicholas and all that?
Yes, I feel like Agatha's now supposed to be viewed as more of like an anti-hero kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Because obviously she was evil in WandaVision, but you could excuse that because she had the Darkhold, so it's like Wanda was corrupting her.
Yeah.
In this, she's just, she's a bit like snotty and stuff like that. A bit arrogant, but...
funny, though, as well.
Yeah.
Does have that sort of funny comedy aspect to her as well.
Yes. But the whole thing with Nicholas Scratch as well, that was like... I didn't expect that. I thought that she would have actually traded her son in for the Darkhold. I didn't expect that it would have been a case of just that.
Because she did say to one of the other witches that it was actually much worse what she did, but what she did though,
she didn't do anything. It was Lady Death.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. She said buy her more time.
It's like it seems like she actually made him. She didn't give birth to him. She also made him, in a way, like with magic. And obviously, that's not allowed in Lady Death's rules. Like how Wiccan was made of magic and Lady Death didn't like
Yes,
that.
which actually brings to the next question. Wiccan's brother.
Yes, Tommy. So we know that he's out there somewhere, because you have that kid that was drowning and his soul went
Yeah,
into
because at first
the
it's
pit.
very vague. You see that sort of transition, like, you know, about the drowning kid and stuff like that. I don't know why. I thought in my head that they were just going to be brought back some way, but I didn't realize it, because that's quite dark when he inhabits the body of a dead child,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. Are you talking about Billy or Tommy?
Well,
here?
yeah, both now, technically, because they're both
Well,
in the
yeah,
same...
yeah. That was like, so that's actually quite interesting. It's makes you think now. What kind of state? Because we know what state Billy was in when he went into this new body. Basically, denied his identity and tried to basically be like, "No, I'm not Billy. My name's William," and
Yeah.
he tried to like push that under and forget he was Wanda's son.
Yeah.
So I wonder how Tommy's gonna deal with it. Like,
Yeah, well, this is the thing, isn't it? We don't know, and he's going to end up in a random location. So, just like Billy, so I mean, we just don't know how.
yeah,
it's
that's
gonna work
why we
out.
have to try and find him.
Well, that's what happened at the very end. Is they're now going to try and find him, which is going to lead into something
Vision
else.
Quest, I think.
Do you think that'll be tied with Vision Quest?
Apparently, if not Vision Quest, then the Wanda film, because that's what people. Though there are some people who think that it's going to be its own show, trying to find Billy, because we know they're not making a second season of Agatha. Apparently, like
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like that has like sort of, you know,
Yeah.
tied up her story.
like WandaVision, it's just a one season story.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be its own show, which I can't see. So I think it's either going to be in Vision Quest or the Wanda film that we see that plot line get carried on. But I feel like whatever happens, that story will be wrapped up before Secret Wars.
Yeah.
So I think probably in Vision Quest.
Okay, but it's a lot of setup that the show has given.
Yes.
I do like, you know, as you say, all the costumes and the practical side of
Yeah,
things
because
to
the
it.
costumes have loads of hints in it, like how Billy's kind of trousers, on the side of them was the star pattern that's in his costume. So,
It's quite suspenseful as well, because a lot of people thought, I think including us as well, thought that we weren't going to get the name drop of, like, Wanda's son, like, to confirm it was Wanda's son until near the end, until you get halfway through the show. Another thing I liked as well was the fact that Witches Row this entire time was an entire con used by Agatha that she got the idea from her son.
because I literally heard that theory literally just before we watched it, like the day before Halloween. And that's when I was like, wait, that theory makes sense, because it would explain why it seems like Agatha doesn't know anything about the road. It would explain why
how she gets that power over the ages as time has gone on.
Yeah, and it would also explain why we haven't heard about the Witch's Road in something like Doctor Strange, because it didn't exist until Billy made it happen. So that was very interesting. This has all just been one long con by Agatha, like the master
that she
con
used as like
artist.
a way from her son, because obviously he made the song.
Yeah.
And then transmutated it into like
Yeah.
that's the Witch's Road.
Like, I think episode 9 was probably the best episode of the show, though. That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I did
think
like
that
when he
was-
gets to that realization that he realizes he's created it. He's actually done what his mother did in WandaVision. He's made something real inside his own head.
Yeah, that was also very, like, really cool, his realization that he based bits of the Witch's Road off of his room, like the leaving the shoes at the road.
And then you see Agatha's realization, what? It's actually worked? Because obviously they did the song.
Yeah.
And then nothing was supposed to happen. They were just supposed to blast it like everyone else. And then it didn't happen because it was actually
there. And it actually shocked Agatha. So that was very interesting. I really liked that whole plot twist.
Yeah, and you only find out at the very end, which I thought was really cool. Keep you in, yeah, because you don't know the whole show until you find out at the end.
If I'm going to be honest as well, I thought that Nicholas Scratch might have actually been Billy. Like, I thought he might have actually been Teen, who was sent by Mephisto.
Oh, yeah, because you don't actually know, because, as you say, there was teasers that he was going to be an agent of Mephisto or something else entirely, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't too sure about it. Yeah, there was a possibility it could have been her son, But what she said at the end of it is that he reminded a lot of her about her son.
Yeah. But I did also think another one that came to mind when I was watching it, which I personally believed, was because in the comics, Nicholas Scratch leads the Salem 7. And so I thought that it would be a grown-up Nicholas Scratch, maybe working for Mephisto, that was leading the Salem 7, trying to go after Agatha for
Very instead of Lady Death.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't really leading.
No,
the
but
Salem
she
7,
was
but
pretty much there. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like the villain. That's another thing. What's gonna happen to her now?
Yeah, well,
Like,
she
she
is
has to
deaf.
return.
Well, yeah, she's a force of nature, though. She's deaf.
Yeah, I assume maybe she'll be like alongside Mephisto's, like the villains of the supernatural side, maybe going forward.
I don't know. I mean, I guess you could say she'd be there to sort of bend maybe the rules, and if like they need to bring someone, I wouldn't say bring someone back, but maybe get advice off somebody or whatever. Maybe she can pull some strings, like she did for Agatha's kid, giving
Mephisto,
him that extra time. She did say to Agatha as well, you know, you ought to ask. It was like, I've given you more than enough, like precious time and stuff like that.
It made me feel like death was not letting Agatha age as like a way of sparing her from death, even though obviously it was probably much more painful for her to take her son.
Well, if you notice as well, it's like when she absorbs the powers of the witches, I think she's also absorbing, I guess you could say, their youth as well, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what's like sustaining her. Because when you think when they're on the ground, like they're all like swollen and grey skin and stuff, as if she's actually absorbing their life force.
I didn't realise that actually. Oh yeah, that's why she stayed young all this time. I didn't realise that.
So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 like deal package there. You're getting their power and you're getting their like sort of youth to sort of keep you sustained.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So probably all these witches after all these years may not actually be killed by, you know, normal people. Might just be killed by her.
Yeah. But I've really enjoyed watching the show.
Yes, it's been really good. I really enjoyed it. I was surprised. And yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next.
With all the setup that the show has given for future storylines and stuff.
Yes.
So, is there anything else you want to add?
There's probably some stuff we have missed, let's be honest.
Definitely.
But if there is anything that we've missed and any of you guys want to ask us questions about or things that we've missed and you want to point them out, then feel free to leave it down in the comments.
Yes. I can't think of much else other than maybe what would you rate the show out of 10 then?
Ooh.
Compared to like all the other Marvel shows that you and I have seen.
Do you know what? Yeah, it did surprise me quite a lot.
This show shocked me with how good it was, honestly.
Yeah, I would say I would give it about an 8 or a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same as well, like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, something like that. Because it definitely surprised me. It was really good. The pacing was there. I liked the characters. I liked the fact they used practical effects and most of CGI. And I liked the way that it sort of turned out towards the end, setups for later on. Agatha becoming like sort of, I guess now, the law sort of master for the supernatural.
Yeah, and it definitely expanded that whole side of the MCU.
Yes, which we practically have not had before yet.
Yeah. So...
what were you rated?
Yeah, I just said an 8
Oh, yeah,
or a 9.
You did. Yes, you did.
So, yeah, I really enjoyed it, and all the different kinds of trials that they weaved in as well, with like all the different elements and all that. Also, Agatha binding not Lilia, but you know, like the potion high priestess.
Oh yeah, Jen.
That was actually, because I thought it was going to be something of like, oh, the Doctor had magic, but no, it was Agatha, which that in itself was actually like...
Yeah.
That was actually quite cool. I like that they actually did that.
And it was her that actually sort of kept her there in a way, because that's what she wanted, was her power back. So, and she did get her power back.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it, and with that being said, my name is Owain on the channel, and this is my brother.
There we.
And we will catch you all in the next video. Ta-da!
Bye.